Hi, folks. You're with Tacitus today at your Pushback channel, and thank you for joining this live stream. Now, in this essay, I'd like to talk about how the West, in commercial terms, the business sector is hell bent on destroying itself, as it is in the political sector, the political field. So, now, just a sort of a slight or a quick backstory here. I have a share in a business, and if people are away or unavailable, or someone's been drawn off to do another task, I'm sort of increasingly jumping into the breach to make sure that there's continuity. We're not delaying things unnecessarily, that sort of stuff. So I'm getting to meet more people that we have to do business with. Now, ordinarily, I may not meet these people. May have a brief phone call or be part of some online talk or whatever, but now I'm or on occasion I'm getting directly involved with them. So now I'm aghast, and I've mentioned this in other videos. I'm aghast at how unqualified these people are, and I'm coming across now. In fact, it's so rare now that I come across someone who is qualified and is capable and has been promoted in any sort of, or placed on any sort of merit. But it's just a rarity now, and it's getting worse. So I'll just mention a couple of sort of instances to illustrate the point. Now, in one case, the person that having to deal with is like the vice president of, say, commercial. So that's an approximation of the title, and I won't mention where or anything like that. But she's about 40, I guess. Got a kid starting high school, just starting first year high school, and pleasant enough, And but it would be hard to find somebody more unqualified than her. There would have been thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people they could have chosen who would have been better qualified. But there's a bit of patronage here. I think she married into the right family, that sort of stuff. But it's painful to sit down and talk to this person. Firstly, their English is not good enough to be doing what they're doing. Because some of these discussions, negotiations, and contractual obligations, the legal stuff, all that sort of thing requires a pretty decent understanding of English, and she definitely doesn't have that, and makes some ridiculous sort of junior high school type misunderstandings of what's been said. Now, if she was a trainee or something like that, or a junior or something, you go, okay, well, fine. She's just a trainee. She's just starting out. She's a kid fresh out of high school or fresh out of college or something. You wouldn't think about it, but not at a VP level. Someone of 40 being paid a very generous compensation package. Once you're paying the big bucks, I think it has to go with skills, ability, and merit, and that's certainly not the case here. So now, on top of the English problems, she's also never worked in any relevant field previously, and really has only been like the equivalent of a junior bureaucrat in the fucking post office or something like that. So has been absurdly over promoted, and has this job, but there's nowhere else to go. The CEO is similarly just a pure patronage appointment. He's a white guy, pure patronage appointment. So he can't even give her guidance or training or help her out. So and he doesn't know what he's doing. He's just there as sort of figurehead, really, to just do the cocktail party circuit and do the smooching and that sort of thing, which he does passably well, by the way. But so there's no real expertise there to do the thing. Now, I know, it makes no difference to me. Yogi Bear can be doing it, or Mickey Mouse, or saying, again, makes no difference to me at all. The only issue that concerns me is how much time, how much longer, how much more time and effort do I have to put in simply because the person on the other end of the table doesn't know what they're doing, or how much, how in terms of resources, how much resources do I have to waste in time and money or in employing other people to do the stuff that they should be doing but aren't doing, are incapable of doing. So in that sense, it concerns me. I expect when I'm looking at doing business with at this level and covering these sort of things, that at the very least the person's competent. Now, let's suppose she's been given a great chance and a great job and good money and everything like that, and she realizes she's not up to the task. So when we're in a conversation, she'll say, look, I don't know the answer to that. I do understand that it's critical for the discussions that we're having. I will find out and I'll get back to you. So a commitment and a drive and a focus on being competent and being capable of getting the job done. But that's not even there. If anything, the question when it's asked and she doesn't know the answer is sort of, it's like almost a personal insult and that sort of thing. So, and but she's not without a good heart, and I'm sure she means well, and but just doesn't know what she's doing, isn't qualified, can't speak the language, shouldn't be in that job. So not only are they suffering as a consequence, and anyone that does business with them, but some of the things they should have put together but couldn't, we've had to put together, and I'm at the point now where I'm just gonna walk away from it. So I'm just going to walk away from it and not waste my time. I think that's the key sort of takeaway there. So so just a second one, which is the same sort of really along sort of similar lines, I guess, and that's just dealing with what you'd call sort of, I don't know, the chief coordinator in what is a very large sort of commercial enterprise. So quite a senior role. And again, English is very poor, female, and ridiculously over promoted. Shouldn't be in the job. Has no skills to be doing this, and is quite childlike and about 30 years old and so on. But the same again, her boss who's like a lesbian activist, that sort of thing. So when you look at this organisation, their sole concern is dealing with race and gender and sexuality quotas. That's it. And if you meet the quota criteria, as long as you've even got one key word on your CV that matches the job description, that's it, bang, you're in. And they don't seem to be concerned at all about who they're hiring. And these people are embarrassingly bad. So again, the situation is having conversations with people who just haven't got a clue. And I should just reiterate, for the umpteenth time, it makes a difference to me. I really don't care who's at the other end of the table as long as they know what they're doing. And but that increasingly is not being seen as an issue. Who cares about whether you know what you're doing or not? We're meeting gender and race fucking quotas and sexuality quotas. That's what matters. That's what the focus is. And if they end up being half effective at their job, well, it's a bonus. But we're not expecting that. And we're not that fussed if it's not there. We're just concerned about ticking these quota boxes. So here's this this person who misunderstands so many things, doesn't know, but yet is very touchy, very much a chip on the shoulder. If you ask a question she doesn't know, instead of dealing with it, she'll take that not simply as a personal insult, but as a hurt, a real hurt. You're going to see the body spasming as she sort of lets it run through her mind. And you're a straight white male putting her down because she's not white and she's not male. And that's what you're really doing. You're not asking a commercial question that is quite a reasonable question, given the how many trucks can be needed to deliver, this. I'm simplifying it here, but how many trucks are needed to deliver this many widgets, and that's enough. That's an insult. You're just trying to put me down. You're just trying to show me up. And fuck. So you're dealing with a very childlike person on top of this. So someone who's entitled. I'm entitled to these jobs. Because in the third world shithole I came from, all the NGO activists that came around, they said the reason we're poor and you white countries are rich is because you damn white fascist Nazis stole everything from us. That's why. So I'm just here. I'm entitled to this. This is mine anyway. I'm just claiming it back. So I mean, and you know, if a name like Shaniqua or something like that, if it was one of the communications, one of the emails, it was spelt Shaniqua. I mean, so, you know, the two of the vowels were transposed, and so instead of ignoring that or just it doesn't matter, um, that became the most important thing that she had to deal with. Was it any of the questions or any of the business issues or any of the outstanding? No. You transposed two vowels in my fucking name, you asshole. And that's just another put down. It just shows that you're a fascist white Nazi. I shouldn't say that, but the inference was that you know, it was white evil. You're only putting me down because I'm a non-white woman and this sort of thing. No one's putting anyone down. It just she should be better at her job and should know the answers. But all she has to do is say, okay, I don't know the answer to that, but I'll find out and I'll come back to you. But they only do that because that becomes an admission that they don't know. To admit you don't know is to take away your self-esteem, and the straight white male took away that self-esteem or was instrumental in it being taken away. So it's still their fault. You don't have to try harder or do better, which is why they have to give free passes in exams and all sorts of things to these folks. Now, again, I'm encountering this more and more. There's a huge cost to all of us here. This is not just a cost to me or them or the people around the corner, and it's a cost to all of us. Because as soon as you move away from a merit-based system to employment to this sort of system, you're baking in, you're sort of entrenching ineptitude and incompetence and so on. Now, to counter that, if you like, as the counterbalancing thing, the globalists say, well, that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter because all we do is we create a checklist and these people operate off the checklist. And it doesn't matter if they know what they're doing. It doesn't matter if they understand what they're doing, as long as they go from the fucking checklist. That's all that matters. So everything's still fine because we can, instead of having people that are competent or hired on merit or appointed on merit, we just introduce checklists, and checklists solve it all, which of course is quite absurd. I mean, it's a fantasy, along the lines of a communist utopia. It doesn't exist, but this is what's going on. And again, I'm seeing it more and more, and I'm aghast at how these people are getting in some cases, quite well-paid jobs, some cases very well-paid jobs. And they haven't got a clue. They shouldn't be in them. They should never even be considered for them. I mean, how does it work and I understand the quota, the effect of quotas and everything, but you're looking at say filling VP jobs in this case, and you'd have to say to yourself, all right, we're prepared to sacrifice all standards, all competencies, all qualifications, all experience, all suitability. We're going to throw all of that out the window just so we can tick our race and gender quota boxes. I mean, it's insane. And we're all going to end up much, much poorer as a consequence. You've been with Tacitus today at your Pushback Challenge. Thank you for listening.